Hello, welcome back to series of tutorials for Python for network admins. My name is Srihari Enugukonda. Today we're gonna continue from our last session about how to take the network configuration from the routers using SSH. So far we have seen telnet, but now we'll see how to connect to the routers or network devices using SSH and take the running configuration or executing some commands. Okay, let's get started. So this is my test topology where I have my loopback adapter connected to the switch, and I have four routers here. So on the first three routers, I have SSH enabled. So I would like to do that now on the router 5 and execute some commands using SSH. Let's get started. So I'm reusing the script from the last session with an exception that I have used SSH instead of telnet. Okay, let me just walk through. So let's first get the IP address of the router. So this is my router 5, and my IP address is 192.168.0.213. So let's change it here. The username and password remains same. I'm running a for loop throughout the list. So far I have only one IP address, but you can go on and increasing it. Uh, and here I have used SSH instead of telnet. So pexpect will try to get SSH running with these options. So all the arguments should go in a list. So this is very much important to notice that whatever the arguments that we pass, we should pass them as the items in the list. What typically happens is whenever we telnet to any network device, it will do the host verification. There we get the do you want to continue kind of stuff. Okay, but let's start with configuring the router, enabling the router with SSH. So I'm on my router 5. I I have SSH enabled already. Okay, I think it's default enabled. So otherwise, if you want to enable SSH on any host, the first requirement is to create a domain name. So python for network admins.com, and then generate the keys. Crypto key generate RSA modulus 1024. So this will actually generate new keys. Yes, I have generated the keys. Now I think SSH is enabled. We can do the verification by doing show IP SSH. SSH is enabled. Awesome. So let's try to run this. Try to understand how this works. I would like to do test SSH session. Whenever we do SSH to any host, if it is for the first time, it's going to ask you, do you want to continue prompt. I think I have already logged into 210, so I think it's asking for that. But let's try to remove the keys and let's try to connect again. How we can do that? SSH-keygen -r 192.168.0.10. So this will remove the host ID for that. And now let's try to do an SSH again. See, as you can see, it asks you for the prompt. So it is not always probable that you will get the password prompt. Sometimes you may run into situations that the client is asking for a host verification. So we need to include this on our pexpect script. So how do we do that? So in the last session, we have seen how we can enumerate multiple prompts using pexpect. So here are the two possible combinations. Either you are asked to provide a password, or either you throw a host verification prompt. So these are the two possible things. So The pexpect will catch these two, and it'll try to enumerate, and if it matches with the password, the position of the list will be returned into the CLI. If it matches with the host verification prompt, the position of this particular item in the list will be thrown into the CLI. So I think I haven't. Okay, let's ensure that we remove the key file from the router, just to ensure that we will be asked. Okay, uh, keygen typo. Okay, so there are no keys, which means that this is for the first time I'm connecting to this particular router using SSH. So after that, what I'm doing, it after it asks for the prompt, if I get the position of this particular item, which is one, this particular block will be executed. Um, it will try to match that expected pattern, and then I send S, then I catch password, then I send the password, then I expect a greater than symbol. If the key is already added, I'm directly prompted for the password. So I'll supply the password. PExpect will then see the greater than symbol, and it'll send enable command password, then enable password. Few commands will execute, and I'll get the show version at the end of it. So this is the plan. Let's get started and see how it reacts. I'm trying to execute the script. Okay, I got the result 1 this time. Result 1 is this particular block, and show version is here. So I would like to read this output on the standard output. So how do we do that? So let's try this. Child.log file is equal to sys.std out. So I'm trying to send this to the main screen so that we can see in the console. So before that, let's remove this particular key that's being added here. It's removed, and let's try to run it again. Okay, it's successfully executed, but I don't see any output. Let's just debug that. It seems okay. We have a beautiful um, debugging tool in PExpect, which is we can print what is inside the child process. We can see the result. You see, we got the debug information. It is trying to execute the SSH, and yes, we got the output actually. This is the show version output, and it's matching the match criteria. Yep, log file is sent to the standard output. Pretty good. So let's see where we are doing it different. Yeah, so this log file should be before the expect. Let's execute it again. Okay, another error. Let's see what is it. Yeah, it seems there is some problem writing the output to this standard output. Let's try to write this output to a file and then see how it looks like. So for that, let's try to create a file object f, I would like to open a new file. The file name would be show version, and I want this to be in the write mode, and I want to write this log file. Basically, log file captures all the search criteria and also the output. What I mean is, show version will give us the show version is a command that is being executed on the shell. It gives some output, and also pexpect catches the last pattern. So log file actually captures the input, output, and also the regular expression that it matches. Let's try to see if we can get some result. Yes, it ran with exit code 0, and yes, here is our show version for router 3. This is the match criteria that I was talking about. So basically, log file will capture the command, captures the output, and also the last search criteria, which is this. Cool. So this is how we can run multiple commands with SSH. Okay, so now I think it matches the password prompt. Let's try to remove the keys and see how it matches with this particular block and how the result looks like. So for now, let me delete this. Yes, I want to delete this, and let's remove the keys. Keychain. Yes, the keys are removed. Let's run it for 213. So now it should match the prompt, host verification prompt, and this particular block of code should be executed. Let's run it again. Yes, it's matching with this one, and I have the result, show version, router 5, the command, and also the output. Cool. So this is how we can use pexpect.span to run SSH to connect to the network devices and execute some commands. Thank you so much for watching this. You have a good day.